today we're going to talk about a review of the cosine law. The cosine law is a trigonometric formula that is used only in two specific situations. We can find an unknown side or an unknown angle for a non-right-angled triangle using cosine law. In the case where we have all three sides and no angles given, or in the case where we have two sides and a contained angle, or the angle contained between those two known sides. Those are the only two situations in which you're going to use the cosine law formula to find an unknown side or an unknown angle in a non-right angle triangle. In the case where you have two sides and a contained angle given, then the formulas for finding the third side of the triangle are given here. Depending on which side you're trying to find, you will choose to use whichever letter corresponds to that. In this case, we would be able to find side C because we're given angle C, and so we would use the third version of this formula to calculate our unknown side. When you look more closely at the formula, you can see the Pythagorean theorem hidden in here, a squared plus b squared, a squared equals b squared plus c squared. And then there's the second part of it, which is really important for you to keep all together before you subtract the result from the first two terms. If you don't, you'll make a bedmiss error and your answer will turn out wrong. So if you're given three sides and no angles in a non-right angle triangle, I've rearranged the formula for you here so that you can more easily find the value of the unknown angle that you're looking for. It's the same formula as the previous slide, it's just been rearranged so that it will actually give you the angle rather than an unknown side. So let's look at an example of how to use this formula. Here we have two sides that are known and an angle contained between those two sides. And so cosine law will apply here, which means that we can calculate side A using the formula a squared equals b squared plus c squared minus 2bc times the cosine of angle A. So when we fill in all of that information, we have 10 squared plus 12 squared minus 2 times 10 times 12 times the cosine of angle A, which is 62 degrees. So when we put all that in our calculator, we find out that a squared is 131.3. We're not done yet. A squared is 131.3, but we're looking for side A. That means that we need to take the square root of 131.3. And so side A is approximately 11.5 centimeters. In case 2, where the cosine law applies, we're given all three sides of this triangle, but none of the angles. Let's assume that we're finding angle A. We're going to use the rearranged formula to do that. We're going to start with the cosine of A, because that's the angle we're trying to find. And the rearranged formula is going to be b squared plus c squared minus a squared over 2 times bc. So again, if we fill in all the values that were given here, then we end up with a value for the cosine of angle A of approximately 0.7333. We always round to 4 decimal places for trig values. So using the inverse of the cosine will give us angle A, and angle A in this case is approximately 42.8 8 degrees. We'll round off to 1 decimal place there for our angles. If you need help with this topic or any other math topic, please contact me at mathhelp@trentu.ca for an in-person or an online math help appointment.